Hello and welcome to another exciting week here in the YDSC, the Youth Drone Sports Championships. I'm your host, Sour Power. With me tonight in the production booth is Shy Dragon with Dragon's Eye Media. Race managing tonight is Eclipse from the Tiny Turbines. We are sponsored here from NCAT, the National Center for Autonomous Technologies. We're also powered by LeagueOS. If you are looking to start an esports league, go to leagueos.gg, click on that Discord link to get some more information. If you are looking to fly or start a team at your school, you can go to fly.youthdronesports.org for more info. Now, enough with that. Go ahead and hit that follow button and that notification button, so this way you can keep up on all the exciting things happening, both in the sim and in real life, what we call IRL. Our next sim race will be next Thursday, and our next in real life race will be happening right here in Minnesota at Washburn on February 11th, starting at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, now to get things going, this is our Soaring Sim Series kickoff race number 2, 2023. Tonight, we have some awesome pilots coming back for some absolute nerve-wracking blade-to-blade battles. Up first, we have 2 heats going on. Each of these heats, the pilots will be flying 5 times in a row. We will then get a total from the pilots. They want the lowest score possible. We will add all those up. Anyone with a tie, we will do a race off, and then they will get seeded into what we call the mains. All right, we will explain the mains here as we go on. First up, we have in heat number 1, coming from the Tiny Turbines, we have Eclipse. From the Academy of Holy Angels, we have King Lee. From St. Cloud State, we have Cyrus. From Wichita, Kansas, we have Quad Boy. And from St. Thomas Academy, we have McLovin. All right, pilots, shake it off. Here we go. Heat number 1. Goggles down, thumbs up. Here we go. And we're off. Eclipse with the whole shot, but Cyrus is in first. We got Cyrus, Kingly, Eclipse, McLovin, and Quad Boy. Quad Boy having a little bit of a fumble up there. Cyrus still in first, going through the dive gate, followed by Eclipse. Oh, Kingly and Eclipse going side by side right now. The battle is in second and third. Quad Boy moving up to fourth, and McLovin in fifth. Cyrus trying to keep it nice and smooth. A sizable lead over Eclipse right now, but Eclipse in second, followed by Quad Boy not far behind. McLovin now overtaken fourth, and King Lee. We are doing 3 laps on this course, 3 laps. And we have Cyrus still keeping it nice and smooth with a sizable lead over Eclipse. We got Cyrus, Eclipse, Quad Boy in third, King Lee now in fourth, and McLovin in fifth. They're all in lap number 2. Here comes Cyrus in lap number 3. Eclipse, Quad Boy gaining some ground on Eclipse right now. Sizable lead. Eclipse just goes through lap number 3 along with Quad Boy. They are side by side as Cyrus keeps pulling ahead. We got Cyrus, Eclipse, Quad Boy, McLovin, and King Lee. Eclipse has a little bit of fumble up, given Cyrus takes first that time. As we see them go through the ladder, Eclipse has a little bit of fumble up, Quad Boy in second right now. Kingley overtakes McLovin as they're going back and forth. So we got Cyrus, Quad Boy, Eclipse, Kingley, and McLovin back here. Oh, Kingley has a little bit of a fumble up, puts McLovin in fourth, but they are side by side. Kingley and McLovin trading places right now. Going back and forth. Kingley ahead. McLovin having a little bit of a fumble up. Here comes Kingley, and Kingley takes fourth. So right now we have Cyrus in first, Quad Boy in second, Eclipse in third, Kingley in fourth, and McLovin in fifth. All right, pilots. Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up. These are palm-sized drones that they are flying. They are 65 millimeters from motor to motor, so they are super small. They can be flown indoors is the best place. We fly in gyms all the time. Eclipse taking the whole shot over Cyrus, but Cyrus, Quad Boy, McLovin, Kingley right there. Cyrus overtaken first right now. We got Cyrus, Quad Boy. Ooh, Quad Boy overtakes Cyrus. Cyrus and Quad Boy going side by side right now as we are on that battle. Cyrus still a few gates ahead of Quad Boy. Quad Boy trying to keep it together and nice and smooth to try to catch Cyrus. Cyrus already on lap number 2. Here comes Quad Boy on lap number 2, followed by Kingley, McLovin, and Eclipse in fifth this time. As they are coming through, Cyrus with about a 5-gate lead over Quad Boy. Then we have Kingley, Eclipse, and McLovin all there side by side together. Eclipse having another little fumble up, but comes back. So it's Kingley, Eclipse, and McLovin. Eclipse now up to third, trying to gain some ground. McLovin and Kingley going side by side. Meanwhile, Cyrus and Quad Boy are on lap number 3. McLovin, Eclipse, and Kingley are on lap number 2. Got Quad Boy just trying to hold it together for a nice smooth finish. Quad Boy overtakes first this time as Cyrus is a little bit of a fumble up. Quad Boy trying to keep it nice and smooth together with only a few gates to go, followed by Cyrus in second, and Quad Boy takes it over Cyrus this time. Cyrus in second, and Cyrus officially gets second this time. Meanwhile, back we have Eclipse, Kingley, and McLovin battling it out. Eclipse pulling ahead only by a few gates. But shortly behind is McLovin and Kingley and McLovin coming around. Eclipse solidifying, crashing through the gate with third. Kingley in fourth, McLovin in fifth. So this time we had Quad Boy in first, Cyrus in second that time, Eclipse in third, Kingley in fourth, and McLovin in fifth. All right, pilots. Take a deep breath, shake it out. It's qualifying, but it does matter if you want to be seated in the A, B, C, or D mains. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. And we're off. We got Cyrus with the whole shot, but Cyrus, Quad Boy, Eclipse, Kingley, and McLovin all side by side right now. Cyrus and Quad Boy are right there, only about a quarter of a gate off. Kingley not far behind. So right now we got Cyrus, Quad Boy, Kingley, Eclipse, and McLovin. Quad Boy right on. Oh, Eclipse has a little bit of Cyrus has a little bit of fumble up, puts Quad Boy in first, but Cyrus comes back and takes it over. Quad Boy right there, just looking at Cyrus as they come up over the hurdle and around. Cyrus coming through the dive gate. Here comes Quad Boy through the dive gate as they are coming around. We got Cyrus, Quad Boy, Kingley, Eclipse, and McLovin. Cyrus having a little bit of fumble up, but so does Quad Boy at the same time. Cyrus gaining some ground. Here comes Cyrus on lap number 3. Here comes Quad Boy on lap number 3. We got Cyrus, Quad Boy, Eclipse clawing their way back up into the third, followed by Kingley and McLovin. Cyrus coming around, coming back down, having a little bit of a fumble up. Is it enough? Cyrus trying to has a nice little sizable gap right now. So has to keep it nice and smooth. 1 gate to go, and Cyrus takes first that time. Quad Boy just needs to keep it nice and smooth in order to keep second. So we got Cyrus in first, Quad Boy in second. Eclipse is a few gates ahead of King Lee right now. McLovin having a few little bit of issues right now. So we got Cyrus in first, Quad Boy in second, Eclipse in third, King Lee in fourth, and McLovin in fifth. Let McLovin get the practice down. All these pilots are doing amazing, something super hard to do. So these pilots coming back after a couple years of racing. Awesome pilots. Go ahead and shake it off. Appreciate everybody out there tuning in right now. Once again, we have our February 11th IRL race, which is going to be not this Saturday, but next Saturday. At 10:30 a.m. we will be live streaming that here on Twitch, and also next week Thursday will be race number 3 for our Soaring spring season. All right, here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Here is race number 4 of 5 to conclude heat number 1. We have Eclipse, King Lee, Cyrus, Quad Boy, and McLovin. Eclipse taking the whole shot right now. Eclipse staying in first, but Cyrus right there. Cyrus and Eclipse going side by side, followed by Quad Boy, McLovin, and King Lee. Oh, Cyrus going down, putting Eclipse a few gates ahead. Ooh, Cyrus getting stuck a little bit, so we have Eclipse, Quad Boy, McLovin, King Lee, and Cyrus. They are battling for qualifying points. These qualifying points will seed them into our mains. When we get to our mains, there will be a D main, a C main, a B main, and an A main. So first overall for qualifying, we'll get seeded into the A main, second place overall into the B main, third overall into the C main. Everybody else will be placed into the D main, and they will have a last chance to qualify for the top 3 to go on. Ooh, Eclipse going down right now. Quad Boy starting to close the gap. Eclipse on lap number 3. Here's Quad Boy on lap number 3. Followed by Cyrus crawling their way back up between 3rd and 4th. But McLovin and King Lee are right there, right on top of Cyrus. Cyrus trying to just finish out a nice, smooth, clean lap to keep their times. But we have Eclipse in first. Only a few gates to go. One more gate, and Eclipse from the Tiny Turbines takes first. We have Quad Boy from Wichita, Kansas, taking second. St. Cloud State. Cyrus takes third that time. We have King Lee and McLovin, but King Lee just over McLovin. King Lee from the Academy of Holy Angels, and McLovin from St. Thomas Academy. Awesome, awesome flying. All right, pilots. Here we go before we total them up. We have Eclipse, King Lee, Cyrus, Quad Boy, and McLovin. Goggles down, thumbs up, pilots. Once again, if you're looking to fly, go to fly.udronesports.org for some more information. Go ahead and create a free account, click on the Discord link, and reach out. I am Sour Power. You can also ping us in our general chat or just send us an email as well. We are off. We got Cyrus and Quad Boy battling it out. Cyrus in first, followed by Quad Boy. Cyrus putting a couple gate lead ahead of Quad Boy, followed by King Lee and Ooh, Eclipse overtakes Kingly that time by the time I get down to their name. So we got Cyrus, Quadboy, Eclipse, Kingly, and McLovin as they are battling side by side. Quadboy trying to catch up to Cyrus. Ooh, Eclipse having a little bit of fumble up, and here comes Kingly. Kingly over. Ooh, nope. They are still all side by side. Eclipse trying to hold off Kingly right now. Kingly getting faster and faster. Same with McLovin. Going around, we got Cyrus in first. Cyrus putting on the speed. We got Cyrus, Quadboy, Kingly, Eclipse, and McLovin. Cyrus on lap number 3. We have Quadboy on lap number 3. Here comes Kingly on lap number 3. Eclipse on lap number 3. Followed by McLovin. Cyrus still only a few gates, trying to keep it nice and smooth for these last final gates to take back their first. Cyrus takes first that time. Quadboy only a few gates, trying to keep it nice and smooth. And Quadboy takes second that time. Meaning Kingly right now in third, but right behind is Eclipse. Who is it going to be? It is Kingly in third this time. Followed by Eclipse in fourth. And that will put McLovin coming in at fifth. All right, pilots, go ahead and shake it off. I'm going to add up the points here real quick. Get ready for heat number 2. I am back. So right now, as the points sit, unofficially, until we add up all the points from heat number 2 to seed these pilots, we have in 5th place, we have McLovin with 25 points. With 19 points in 4th place, we have Kingly. With 14 points in 3rd, we have Eclipse. 1 point separates these two pilots, with 9 points for 2nd and 8 points for 1st. In 2nd, as it sits right now, is Quadboy with 9 points. And with 8 points, we have Cyrus. All right, pilots. Up now, we have heat number 2. We have coming from Highland Park, coming back, the ever fast Boomer. We have the rival. These two pilots have been going back to back, making each other better all of last year. From now the University of St. Thomas, Broth. Another fast pilot coming from the Academy of Holy Angels. We have Gordo. Coming from the Tiny Turbines, we have Squirkit. And from CEC in Colorado, we have yourself number 1. These pilots are going to run 5 times. That will be 5 times in a row. We're going to add up the points. At that time, any pilots who are tied will do a race off from there, and then the pilots will get seated into their respective mains. All right, pilots. All pilots ready? Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Heat number 2, race number 1.
We go live on the tone in less than 5.
And we're off for this nail biter. We have Squirket with a whole shot. Squirket, Broth, and Boomer going side by side. They are all on the same gate. We got Squirket, Broth, Gordo, Boomer, and then yourself, number 1, with a little bit of a slow start. We got Broth going up into first, but Squirket right there. Squirket and Broth going side by side, followed by Boomer not far behind. And then we have Gordo, few gates. Gordo and yourself, number 1, battling it out. Yourself, number 1, takes fourth that time. Squirket overtakes Broth there, at least for a second, as they all three of them, Squirket, Broth, and Boomer, they are changing spots. Boomer in first right now, Boomer back in second. They are all side by side as we are watching this unfold. Oh, Boomer having a little bit of a fumble up. We got Squirket, Boomer, Broth, Gordo, and yourself, number 1, having a little bit of a crash. Coming around, Squirket and Boomer still side by side. Boomer overtakes Squirket. Boomer and Squirket battling it out. Boomer having a little bit of a lead now, and Broth goes up into second. Squirket in third. Gordo and yourself, number 1, is fourth and fifth. Boomer just over Broth, followed by Squirket. Then we have Gordo and yourself, number 1, battling it out. Gordo only a few gates away from finishing. Coming back strong is Boomer with a first that time. Broth just a hair over Broth in second. Squirket just a hair over her in third. And then we have Gordo in fourth. And yourself, number 1, in fifth. Let yourself, number 1, finish up their lap. And then we will start again. Once again, we are the YDSC, the Youth Drone Sports Championships. I am your host, Sour Power. In the production, we have Dragon's Eye Media with Shy Dragon. And race managing while racing, we have Eclipse. We are powered by League OS. If you're looking to create an esports league or have one at your school and want some useful tools, go to leagueos.gg and click on the Discord link and find out more information. If you are looking to fly, go ahead and come to one of our IRL races, or just simply go to fly.youthdronesports.org. You can send us an email, or you can just create a free account and click on the Discord link, and we will be able to help you out. All right, here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Here we go, race number 2. So far we have Boomer, Broth, Gordo, or Boomer, Broth, Squirket, Gordo, and yourself, number 1. As the pilots are off, Broth with the whole shot, but Gordo and Broth going back and forth. Boomer and yourself, number 1, right there. Squirket having a little bit of a late start, but we got Boomer in first, followed by Broth, Gordo, yourself, number 1, and Squirket. Broth right on Boomer's tail as they are going through the ladder and coming around. They are not even a half a gate off of each other as Broth is closing the door on Boomer right now. I am just watching Boomer and Broth unfold. Broth overtakes Boomer, followed by Gordo, Squirket, and yourself, number 1. Boomer overtakes Broth, but Broth and Boomer going side by side. I think this one's going to come down to the wire. Here they come over the split S. We got Boomer, Broth, Gordo. Now Broth, Boomer, Squirket, Gordo, yourself, number 1. They're on lap number 3. Oh, Broth goes down and has a little bit of a fumble up. So that puts Boomer a few gates ahead, trying to keep it nice and smooth. Broth trying to catch up. Squirket crawling her way all the way back up into third, not far behind. Boomer takes that one. Here comes Broth, a few gates to go, but Squirket right there now, right by Broth. We have Boomer, Broth, Squirket, Gordo, and yourself, number 1. Wow, that was a nail biter. And this is just for qualifying. All right. fast pace is something very hard to do. All these pilots put in tons of hours perfecting their craft, fixing and building the drones in real life, constantly practicing in real life along with in the sim. All right, here we go, pilots. We have heat number 2, race number 3. Goggles down, thumbs up, pilots.
Pilots, arm your
Here we go.
as we go live on the tone in less than 5.
And we're off. We had Boomer with the whole shot, but Broff quickly overtakes. We got Broff, Gordo, Squirkit, Boomer, yourself number 1. Gordo in first right now, followed by Broff, Squirkit, and Boomer, Broff, and Gordo going side by side. Boomer right there, not even a quarter of a gate. Not even a quarter gate behind. Oh, Squirkit has a little bit of fumble up. So does Gordo. So Gordo and Squirkit are battling it out. Broff and Boomer battling it out right now. These pilots have fun, and even though they are friendly rivals on the track, all these pilots help each other off of the track as well. Broff has a little bit of a fumble up, giving Boomer a little bit of a lead, but not for long, because here comes Broff closing the gap on Boomer. Boomer still keeping it, pulling it a little bit further away, but we got Broff and Squirkit battling it out right now. Squirkit right on Broff's tail. Boomer just got to keep it nice and smooth, and they have it. Boomer with another first. Broff in second, followed by Squirkit in third. Now we have Gordo and yourself number 1 battling it out. And we have Gordo officially in 4th, and yourself number 1 in 5th. Pilots are only a point behind each other, except for the 1st and 2nd spot. But first overall so far for the season is Broff with 50 points. In second is Gordo with 48 points. Squirkit in third with 47. Then we have Quad Boy with 46. Melon with 45. Eclipse with 44. McLovin with 43. And King Lee with 42. Anything could happen in these 5 regular series season races before we head into our playoffs. We have 2 playoffs and then our championship. All right, here we go, pilots. Got two more races for heat number 2. Can someone take a first away from Boomer? We shall find out. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Boomer coming back strong. And we're off. Broff with the whole shot, followed by Boomer, Squirkit, yourself number 1, and Gordo, as they are all side by side, and we are waiting for this to pan itself out. Broff in first right now, followed by Boomer, but they are only milliseconds away from each other. Then we have Squirkit and Gordo battling it out, followed by yourself number 1. And we have Boomer overtaking Broff right now, but Broff right there on the tail of Boomer. Coming around, they are coming down the split S. Oh, Broff having to go back, giving some room to Boomer right now. Boomer just has to keep it nice and smooth in order to finish this one out. We got Boomer, Broff, Squirkit catching Broff right now, followed by Gordo not far behind, and yourself number 1. Got Boomer on lap number 3. Here comes Broff on lap number 3. Followed by Squirkit lap number 3, and Gordo lap number 3. And yourself number 1 in 5th place. Boomer coming up through the ladder, only a few gates and flags to go. It's nice and smooth sailing, and Boomer takes another first. Broff not far behind, coming back in second. third goes to Squirkit. And then we have fourth goes to Gordo. And fifth, we have going to yourself, number 1. All about practicing beforehand. Pilots have an entire week to practice. Some have been doing this a lot longer than others as well for skill issues, but you put in the time and you will reap the rewards. All right, pilots. Here we go. Last one before we total up these points. Goggles down, thumbs up, pilots. Race number 5 in heat number 2. Boomer, Broth, Gordo, Squirkit, and yourself, number 1. And we're off. We have Broth with the whole shot, but Gordo, Broth, Squirkit, Boomer, yourself, number 1 are all going side by side. We got Broth, Squirkit, Boomer right now, Gordo, and yourself, number 1, battling it out. Boomer right there in second, trying to catch Broth, but knowing they are also in a good spot right now with only this last race to go. We got Broth, Boomer, Squirkit, Gordo, and yourself, number 1. Coming around, Boomer right there on Broth. Broth has to keep it nice and clean, but here comes Boomer taking some tighter lines, coming around, overtaking Broth. But let's see if that lasts. As they come around, come down in the split S and come around. Broth and Boomer going side by side. And coming around over the hurdles and around. Boomer now with about a gate lead over Broth. So we got Boomer, Broth, Squirkit, Gordo, and yourself, number 1. Broth overtaking Boomer, having a little bit of a fumble up there. Broth only a few gates to go, and Broth takes first this time, followed by Squirkit, then Boomer. And we have Gordo and yourself, number 1, going side by side. This is action-packed tonight. We have Gordo officially taking 4th, and yourself, number 1, in 5th. As yourself, number 1, is finishing it out, I'm going to add up some points. Self, number 1, only a few gates to go. All right, let me write some of these unofficial results. We are going to have a race off or two. Give me about another 2 or 3 minutes and I will be right back. I am back. So, as it stands right now, we have 2 race-offs. So for tied for 8th place, for 8th and 9th place, with 25 points is McLovin and yourself, number 1. In 7th place, with 20 points, is Gordo. With 19 points in 6th place is King Lee. Those pilots will all be moving on to the D main, but we do have a race off for 14 points between Squirkit and Eclipse. All right, 14 points. And then we will have another race off as well to see who goes into the C main and who goes into the D main. Between Quad Boy and Broth, who both tied with 9 points. Then we have in 2nd place with 8 points, we have Cyrus. And in 1st overall with 7 points, we have Boomer. So actually, we're only going to do the race off between Quad Boy and Broth, because that will seed who's in the A main, the C main, and who's not. Who moves to the D main. Alright, pilots, we're going to do 1 round. It'll be 3 laps. Whoever takes first on this will be seated into the C main. Alright, pilots. Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up. And we're off. Broth with a whole shot, followed by Quad Boy. Quad Boy right on Broth's tail as we're going over the hurdles right now. Coming down and around. Quad Boy going through the dive gate. Broth with a nice sizable lead over Quad Boy right now. Broth just has to keep it nice and smooth and not have any type of crashes. Coming around, Broth on lap number 2. Quad Boy on lap number 2. Broth having a nice little sizable lead. Just has to keep it nice and smooth. They're both on lap number 2. Here we go. Broth has 1 lap to go. Quad Boy, 2 flags in the gate. Quad Boy is now on lap number 3. Broth with a sizable lead with a few gates to go. And Broth solidifies. Meanwhile, putting Quad Boy to move on. Putting Quad Boy down at the D main. 1 second here, pilots. All right, here we go, pilots. So right now, in the D main, all fighting for a top 3 spot. The way this works is we are going to be doing what is called Chase the Ace. That is the first pilot to 2 wins. Each win is considered an ace. They do not have to win them in order. They just have to have one pilot with 2 wins. So from Wichita, Kansas, we have Quad Boy. From the Tiny Turbines, we have Eclipse. Also from the Tiny Turbines, we have Squirkit. Then we have the Academy of Holy Angels with King Lee. Also from the Academy of Holy Angels, we also have Gordo. Coming from St. Thomas Academy is McLovin. Then we have from CEC in Colorado, we have yourself number 1. All right, pilots. Take a deep breath. Shake it out. This is where we start to slow things down a little bit. Goggles down. Thumbs up, pilots. Here we go.
We go live on the Tone in less.
And we're off. Squirk with the whole shot, followed by Gordo, yourself number 1, Quad Boy, and Eclipse. Squirk only a few gates ahead of Gordo right now. Gordo catching up, but Quad Boy right there in the mix, followed by yourself number 1, Eclipse, and King Lee. Squirk and Gordo on the same gate. Gordo only. Oh! Squirkit goes down. Gordo goes into first. We got Gordo, Squirkit, Quad Boy right on Squirkit's tail right now. Is it enough? So we got Gordo, Squirkit, Quad Boy, yourself number 1, Eclipse, and King Lee. All pilots except for King Lee are on lap number 2. Gordo almost on lap number 3. Squirkit having another little fumble up as Quad Boy is starting to close the door. Meanwhile, Gordo on lap number 3 with a sizable lead right now, trying to keep it nice and smooth to solidify this ace. Followed by Squirkit. And only about a gate and a half behind Squirkit is Quad Boy. Then we have yourself number 1, Eclipse, and King Lee. And we have Gordo finishing first. Followed by Squirkit. Only a couple gates. Squirkit solidifies second. And we have in third is Quad Boy. Fourth, Eclipse. Fifth, yourself number 1. 6 is King Lee. And did something happen with McLovin? Nope. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right, go ahead and might be an internet connection going on. Go ahead and try to switch McLovin to spectator. That's why, remember, make sure you are messaging because I cannot look at it or messaging Eclipse. All right, let's do a quick 2-minute break for the stream. All right, hello and welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Just had a few little technical issues with the pilots and their quads here on Velocidrome. We get a few of those sorted out. We are continuing back. We have right now in first place we have Gordo. Second place goes to Squirkit. Then we have in third Quad Boy. Fourth Eclipse. Fifth Yourself number 1, 6th King Lee, and 7th McLovin. So what that means is Gordo has the first ace. If Gordo gets an ace, we stop, we add up the points. If Quad Boy, Eclipse, Squirkit, King Lee, McLovin, or Yourself number 1 get an ace, we continue on. Remember, it is the first pilot to 2 wins. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. And we're off. We got Squirkit with the whole shot, but we have Gordo overtaken. Squirkit and Gordo going side by side, followed by Eclipse. Self number 1 and Quad Boy trading spots. So we got Gordo, Squirkit, Quad Boy, Yourself number 1, King Lee, and Eclipse. Gordo not far ahead of Squirkit right now. Trying to keep, all these pilots are trying to keep their nerves at bay as they are flying. Yourself number 1 had a little bit of fumble up, but has enough to continue forward. As here comes Eclipse catching up. We got Gordo, Squirkit, Quad Boy, Eclipse, Yourself number 1, and King Lee. All these pilots are on lap number 2. Trying to make it over to lap number 3. And we have Gordo with 1 lap to go. Ooh. Eclipse and Quad Boy trading spots right now. We got Gordo, Squirkit on lap number 3, Eclipse and Quad Boy. Quad Boy in third, Eclipse in fourth, but they are trading spots back and forth. Such tight blade-to-blade racing. As we're coming out, and Gordo takes the next ace. So that means we will be adding up pilot points. Squirkit that time in second overall. Quad Boy trying to keep it nice and smooth. Eclipse having a little bit of a fumble up. And Quad Boy in third that time. Eclipse, King Lee, and Yourself number 1. Eclipse taking fourth. King Lee taking fifth. Yourself number 1 taking 6th, and McLovin taking 7th. So we will have Gordo moving on to take on Broff in the C main. We have Squirkit in second overall that round with points, moving on to take on Broff. And third overall, we have Quad Boy. So overall, we say unfortunately, whoa, no, we don't say goodnight to anybody quite yet. So 10th overall for the official results will be McLovin. Awesome job. Unfortunately, few little issues at the end there. McLovin, it was a pleasure to have you here. Super excited to have you back, coming back next week, and to the in real life race as well. Have anything to say to your fellow pilots or your fans out there?
Just had some difficulties, accidentally pressed something on my keyboard. I'll have to get that fixed. That's pretty much it.
we'll definitely work on that. But I mean, awesome flying. You're just coming back after a couple years being out of it, going from brush to brushless, and you're doing a great job. You're putting in the time, and it shows on the sim and IRL as well too. Look forward to having you back next week for the sim. and next Saturday over at Washburn. All right. Now we're going to have a race-off, though, between King Lee and yourself, number 1. They're both tied for 11 points. So King Lee from the Academy of Holy Angels. Yourself, number 1 from CEC in Colorado. All right, pilots. Here we go. One lap to find out your finishing order, because all these points matter. King Lee, yourself, number 1. Goggles down, thumbs up. Here we go. King Lee. Self number 1. Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up. And we're off. Yourself number 1 with the hole shot. King Lee. Oh, King Lee having a little bobble up, but not far behind. King Lee in first right now. Coming around, trying to keep it nice and smooth. Oh, having a little bobble up there on the same gate right now. King Lee and yourself number 1 coming over to the dive gate. King Lee having a little bit of a bobble. Yourself number 1 getting through only by a little bit. Some blade to blade action as they are coming around. Yourself number 1 followed by King Lee. Yourself number 1 trying to put a little bit of space between them and King Lee. Yourself number 1 on lap 2, but here's King Lee on lap number 2. Only a few gates to go. Anything can happen. Yourself number 1 trying to gain a bigger gap. Yourself number 1 coming around the dive gate and through the dive gate. Here comes King Lee through the dive gate, nice and smooth as we are going through. Only about 2 gates separate. Yourself number 1 having a little bit of fumble up. King Lee closing the door right now. Self number 1 getting ready to come on lap number 3, but here comes King Lee on lap number 3. Yourself number 1 having to go back around a little bit, up and through. King Lee only a few gates behind. Yourself number 1 up and through the dive gate. Here comes King Lee up and through the dive gate. All comes down to these last few gates here, coming through the ladder, but here comes King Lee through the ladder. Around, we have 2 gates and 1 more flag, and 1 gate, and yourself number 1 over King Lee just by a little bit. So overall tonight from the Academy of Holy Angels, King Lee. How was that for you tonight?
It went better than last week, I'll say that much. Yeah, a lot smoother.
It's a lot harder course than you're used to as well, too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. We look forward. Unfortunately, we say goodnight to you, but we do look forward to having you on the sim race next week, which will be live here on Twitch and also over at Washburn on February 11th. We'll be doing our next in real life race at 10:30 a.m. Central. And then in 8th place overall from CEC is yourself number 1, all the way from Colorado. Yourself number 1. With all the little issues going on, how did that work for you today? Oh, I forgot. Yourself number 1 is quiet. Self number 1 congratulating all the pilots. Always great to have around. Always so positive as well too.
Self number 1 says good.
Awesome. All right. And then from Tiny Turbines in 7th overall, we have Eclipse. Eclipse, I know you're still getting used to some things as well while you're doing an awesome job at race managing, learning all the ins and outs for that along with racing. Do you have anything to say to your all your fans out there?
Not really.
All right. All right. So, coming up in the C main, we have taking on Broth. We have Gordo, Squirkit, and Quad Boy. Top 3 from this will end up moving on into the B main. We will be doing a Chase the Ace. All right, pilots. Here we go. Broth, Gordo, Squirkit, and Quad Boy. Goggles down, thumbs up. Here we go. And we're off. Squirkit with the whole shot, but Broth overtakes. So it's Broth, Gordo, and Quad Boy. But Squirkit overtakes. Squirkit and Gordo going side by side right now, right behind Broth, right on the heels of Broth. Coming around, Broth going through the ladder. But here comes Gordo going through the ladder. Quad Boy comes into 3rd right now. This is all about not being last. Oh, Squirkit having a little bit of fumble up. Here comes Broth still in 1st. Gordo only about a half a gate behind. Squirkit. And then we have Quad Boy. Quad Boy and Squirkit battling it out. Broth and Gordo battling it out. Broth about a gate and a half ahead. Broth coming around to lap number 3. But here comes Gordo on lap number 3. Squirkit and Quad Boy still battling it out. Squirkit in 3rd. About a gate and a half ahead of Quad Boy. We have Gordo in 1st right now. Broth in 2nd, but they are still side by side. It comes down to these last couple gates and flags. Here we go around. We have Gordo takes the first ace from the Academy of Holy Angels, followed by Broth from the University of St. Thomas. Now it's down to Squirkit and Quad Boy. Squirkit coming around. Quad Boy having a little bit of fumble up. And from the Tiny Turbines, we have Squirkit in 3rd, which puts Quad Boy this time in 4th. Gordo taking the ace. Broth in 2nd. Squirkit in 3rd. Quad Boy in 4th. Gordo gets another ace. We add up the points. Top 3 move on. If Broth, Squirkit, or Quad Boy get an ace, we move on. Remember, it is the first to 2 wins. First to 2 wins. Here we go, pilots. Pilots, goggles down, thumbs up. And we're off. Squirkit with the whole shot, just a millisecond ahead of Broth. But we have Broth in 1st, Squirkit in 2nd, Gordo in 3rd, followed by Quad Boy. They are all side by side coming through the dive gate. Having a little bit of an issue, but Broth and Squirkit make it out. Gordo had a little bit of a bump. Broth trying to take back an ace right now. Broth in 1st, followed by Squirkit, a couple gates behind. Couple gates behind with a little bit of a lead. We have Gordo in 3rd, followed by Quad Boy. They're coming around. Here comes Broth on lap number 3. Squirkit right behind on lap number 3. Gordo a little bit behind, but on lap number 3, followed by Quad Boy. Remember, if Broth gets his ace, we move on. Gordo takes it back, and Broth says, no thanks, we go on. Broth takes an ace away. That puts Squirkit in second right now. Gordo in third. And Quad Boy in fourth. Quad Boy needs to get an ace or Squirkit to have it move on, but if Gordo has an ace, Broff has an ace. If either of those pilots gets an ace, we add it up, and you do not want to be last. All right, pilots. Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up. These pilots are all amazing people and pilots as well. They are a great group to be around. And we're off. Squirkit with a hole shot followed by Gordo. Gordo overtaking there for a second. We got Squirkit, Broff, Gordo, and Quad Boy. Squirkit really wanting an ace to have this go on. But we have Squirkit. Now we have Squirkit, Broff, Gordo, and Quad Boy. It's all about not finishing last, just being in the top 3 in order to move on, where they will face Cyrus. We have Broff in first right now. If Broff can hold it together, we add up the points and we move on. It's up to Squirkit or Quad Boy to take an ace away to have this thing go on. But right now we got Broff, Squirkit, Gordo, and Quad Boy. Off on lap number 3. Nice little sizable lead right now. Gordo coming around to lap number 3 right now, followed by Squirkit on lap number 3, and Quad Boy getting ready to be on lap number 3 as of now. Broff with 1 gate to go, and Broff solidifies it with 2 aces right there. And Gordo in second. Oh, Gordo now in second. Squirkit in third, and Quad Boy in fourth. So that means Broff, Gordo, and Squirkit will be moving on to take on Cyrus from St. Cloud State. I know Quad Boy is usually quiet, but Quad Boy, amazing flying tonight, coming back strong, taking 6 overall tonight. Quad Boy, you can type it out. Do you have anything anything to say? Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you, Quad Boy. I was reading what other pilots are talking about there. About their hearts are pounding. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Right, while we're waiting for them to chat. Once again, we are sponsored by NCAT, the National Center for Autonomous Technologies. We are powered by League OS. If you're looking to create an esports league or have one at your school and want some awesome free software, you can go to leagueos.gg, click on that Discord link, and you'll be able to find more information. If you are looking to fly and put in the time, whether you want it to be a hobby or a career, you can go to fly.youthdronesports.org. Send us an email or create a free account, link your Discord, and it will bring you right over to our Discord link and you can contact us. All right. I am Sour Power with the YDSC, the Youth Drone Sports Championships. Production tonight is Shy Dragon with Dragon's Eye Media, and race managing tonight is Eclipse. All right, pilots, we are going to do one more Chase the Ace. Top 3 pilots will move on, so it is the first to 2. Do not be last. We have Squirkit from the Tiny Turbines, Gordo from the Academy of Holy Angels, Broff from the University of St. Thomas, taking on Cyrus from St. Cloud State. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Deep breaths. And we're off. Squirkin with a whole shot followed by, Gordo. Broth, Gordo, and then Broth having a little bit of a fumble up. So right now we have Squirkit, Gordo, Cyrus, and Broth. Cyrus and Broth on the same gate. Squirkit and Gordo battling it out. But Cyrus and Broth overtaking Cyrus, but they are all side by side right now. Taking it down. Squirkit going down to third, Broth moving up to first. So we got Broth, Gordo, Squirkit, and Cyrus. Cyrus falling a little bit behind right now, trying to keep it nice and smooth, nice and tight. Broth and Gordo right there with each other. Squirkit only a couple gates behind. Cyrus has plenty of time to catch up as they are only on lap number 2, but here comes Broth, getting ready to be on lap number 3. Broth on lap number 3. Here comes Gordo on lap number 3. Here comes Squirkit on lap number 3. And Cyrus about to be on lap number 3 as of now. Broth having a little bit of a sizable lead. Having a little bit. Gordo had a little bit of a fumble up. But right there, Broth just overtakes Gordo. Followed by Squirkit and Cyrus. So Broth with the first ace. Gordo in second. Squirkit in third. Broth takes another ace. We add them up. It's up to Cyrus, Gordo, or Squirkit to take an ace so we can move on. Remember, do not be last. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in to Soaring Spring Sim Season Race number 2, 2023. As we are off, they all basically hit the gate at the same time. That was a super hard one to tell, but we have Broth, Gordo, Squirkit, and Cyrus all side by side going through. Cyrus falling a little behind, but Squirkit had a little bit of a fumble up. So right now we got Broth, Gordo, Squirkit, and Cyrus battling it out. They're coming around. Broth trying to put it away right here. Broth on lap number 2, Squirkit on lap number 2, Gordo on lap number 2, and here is Cyrus on lap number 2. Trying to keep it nice and smooth, nice and tight. Everyone out there watching, let's go ahead and hit that like and that follow and notification button. This way you can tune in to next week's race and get any notifications like our IRL race. Broth having a little bit of a fumble up, and here comes Gordo. So we got Broth, Gordo, Squirkit, and Cyrus as they are coming around. Broth trying to keep it nice and smooth, pulling a little bit of a lead out right now. We got Gordo in second, Squirkit right behind in third, and Cyrus right there in fourth. Cyrus not trying to end up in last, as we have Broth taking a second ace. Broth solidifying it, so it comes down to these points right here. We got Gordo with another second, so Broth and Gordo will move on. And we have Squirkit with another third, and unfortunately, we have to say goodnight to Cyrus. Cyrus, it is always such a pleasure having you around. Amazing flying. You get faster and faster every single week. What do you have? I know you always have something positive to say. What do you have to say to your fellow pilots and your fellow fans out there?
Well, you guys caught me cold, not gonna lie. These guys were warmed up from CMA, I can definitely tell. They definitely had more fresh practice on the course compared to me, and they used it to their advantage. And all credit to them. And again, I always love racing with these guys. It's a very great community. One of the best drone communities I've ever been a part of. And as always, go Huskies.
We love having you here, Cyrus. We wish you were closer to be at all these IRL races too.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to pick you up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's okay.
I can set my alarm. Oh, we'll be fine.
Awesome. Well, have a wonderful night. We will definitely see you for next week. Amazing flying tonight as the pressure builds up. We do move on now to the A main, where our pole sitter, Boomer from Highland Park, sits, coming back strong with a vengeance, ready to roll. Taking on Broth from University of St. Thomas, Gordo from the Academy of Holy Angels, and Squirkit taking on from the Tiny Turbines, all taking on Boomer here in the A main. Now here in the A main we do something a little bit different. We do what's called a super chase. Super chase puts the pressure on even more. Instead of 2 wins, these pilots are the first to 3 wins. The first to 3 wins, and then we add up the points. They do not have to be in order. But it all comes down to this last bracket here. Boomer from Highland Park, Broth from University of St. Thomas, Gordo, Academy of Holy Angels, and Squirkit, the Tiny Turbines. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up.
We go live.
And we're off. We have Broth with a whole shot, followed by Squirkin, Gordo, Boomer. They are all side by side right now as they are coming through. We have Broth, Squirkin, Boomer, and Gordo. These pilots who have been waiting in the mains. It's all about keeping those fingers warm. Some of them are cold, trying to warm them up. See if it makes a difference. We got Broth right now, followed by Gordo, Boomer, and Squirkit. They are all side by side. Broth only a couple gate lead over Gordo right now. Boomer only a gate behind Gordo, followed by Squirkit. Oh, Broth has a little bit of fumble up, puts Gordo in first, but they are going side by side. Boomer clawing their way back up now into second. We got Broth, Boomer, Gordo, and Squirkit, but all top 3 are side by side. Squirkit falling a little bit behind now. As we go through, Broth now in first, followed by Gordo and Boomer. Squirkit in 4th. It's either not warm or could have flown a little too much and not shaking it off. But right now we have Broth with the first ace, followed by Gordo in 2nd, Boomer in 3rd, Squirkit in 4th. Take a deep breath, pilots. Shake it off. Roll out those necks, shake out those fingers. Give it a little 30-second countdown, then we'll go again. Get you some deep breaths. I know your nerves are high right now, but that is all right. Feel free, it's always, if you are in the, while these pilots are relaxing for a second, if you are in the Minneapolis area, come over to Washburn High School on February 11th. It is always free to spectate. Come and watch these pilots in real life throw down with some epic blade-to-blade racing. If you cannot make it, we will be here on Twitch live streaming. All right. Here we go, pilots. Got Broth with an ace. It's up to Gordo, Boomer, or Squirkit to continue to get aces and not let Broth get 2 more aces. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. And we're off. Broth with the whole shot, followed by Squirkit, Gordo, and Boomer. They are all side by side like rainbows coming through and around. Oh, Gordo having a little bit of fumble up, so we got Broth, Boomer, Squirkit, and Gordo. Ooh, Boomer now going up to first. Boomer and Broth trading spots back and forth, followed by Squirkit in 3rd right there, and Gordo right there. Here they all come on lap number 2, swinging around. coming side by side. They're all trying to keep their breaths under control, keep those nerves at bay. So they're coming around. We got Broth right now, followed by Boomer, Squirkit, and Gordo. Broth and Boomer on lap number 3. Squirkit on lap number 3. Gordo just now on lap number 3. Broth and Boomer. And we're trying to take this ace away from Broth. They're going. Broth and Boomer through the ladder. Broth only a few gates to go, but here comes Boomer. And we have Broth taking another ace. Boomer taking taking a second that time. And we have Squirkit in third and Gordo in fourth this time. So that is Broth with 2 aces. Then we have Boomer in second that time. Squirkit in third and Gordo in fifth. It is still up to Boomer, Gordo, or Squirkit to get an ace on this last time, to have it continue on. If Broth gets another ace, we end it, we add up points. If anyone ties, if we end up with any ties, then we move on. I mean, then we do a race off. All right. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Could this be the end to an epic blade-to-blade battle here at the YDSC Soaring Spring Sim Series? We will find out. Or can Boomer, Gordo, or Squirkit get an ace? As Squirkit gets a hole shot there, but Broth in first. And followed right behind is Gordo, Boomer, and Squirkit. Broth. Oh, Boomer overtakes Broth that time. Broth right behind. Boomer wants his ace. Broth only about a half a gate behind right now, so we got Boomer, Broth, Squirkit, and Gordo. Squirkit and Gordo battling it out right now, but Boomer and Broth, as these two all last year. Oh, Broth having a little bit of fumble up, giving a little bit of breathing room. About 3 gates ahead. Boomer has to keep it nice and smooth coming through. And here comes Boomer over from Highland Park on lap number 3. Here comes Broth and Gordo battling it out now on lap number 3. And here comes Squirkit on lap number 3. Boomer having about a 4-gate lead now, trying to keep it nice and smooth. Broth trying to keep Gordo away and at bay. And here we go. And Boomer comes back and takes an ace away from Broth. That means we move on. So we have Boomer with an ace. Broth that time in second. Gordo in third. And Squirkit in fourth. Shake it off, pilots. Shake it off. Breathe. Grab a drink of water. We'll do another like 30-second countdown. At least in our heads. These pilots' nerves are high right now. We've got Broth with 2 aces. Boomer now with an ace. It's up to Gordo and Squirkit to get an ace, or Boomer to get another ace to continue it on again. But can Broth get one last ace and solidify this for week number 2? Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up, pilots.
We go live on the tone in less than 5.
And we're off. Squirkit with the whole shot, followed by Squirkit still in first. Oh, Boomer, Squirkit, Gordo, and Broth battling it out. Broth little bit behind right now. Boomer and Gordo going side by side. Squirkit not far behind. Broth trying to catch Squirkit right now. So we got Boomer, Gordo, Squirkit, and Broth as they are coming around. Boomer on lap number 2. Here comes Squirkit on lap number 2, Gordo on lap number 2, and Broth on lap number 2. Boomer having about a 3.5, 4 gate lead right now over the rest of the pack. Behind is Squirkit, Gordo, and Broth. We're just gotta keep it nice and smooth. Keep that pace. So right now we have Boomer and Squirkit on lap number 3. Here comes Broth, now in 3rd, Gordo in 4th, but they are only a couple of gates. Boomer about 3.5 gates still ahead. 3.5, 4. Here comes Boomer, and Boomer solidifies a second ace. Squirkit that time in 2nd. Find out it comes down. Broth having a little bit of issues, falling behind, and Gordo in 3rd that time. Could this be the momentum that Boomer needs to wrap this thing up? Or will Gordo or Squirkit come back with an ace to solidify it? Or to have this thing go on? So, right now, we have Broth with 2 aces, Boomer with 2 aces. Either of those pilots get an ace, we end it, and we add up points. If Gordo or Squirkit get an ace, we continue on. Will this go the distance? This is always fun to watch here in the A main between Boomer from Highland Park, Broth from the University of St. Thomas, versus Gordo from the Academy of Holy Angels, and Squirkit from the Tiny Turbines. Here we go, pilots. Goggles down, thumbs up. Could this be it, or will we go on? We will find out right now. And we're off. Gordo with a whole shot that time, but we got Broth, Gordo, Boomer, and Squirkit. They're all side by side right now. We'll wait till this thing sorts itself out as 3 out of the 4 pilots. Squirkit falling far behind, but Broth only a little bit ahead of Boomer, followed by Gordo. Squirkit about 10 gates behind the pack right now. Gordo's starting to fall a little bit back, but not by much, only about by 2 gates. But we got Broth and Boomer battling it out right now. Boomer overtaking Broth. Not far behind. Broth having a little bit of a fumble up. Could this be Boomer's time? We got Boomer, Gordo, Squirkit going around. Here we have Boomer on lap number 3. Here comes Gordo on lap number 3. Broth is on lap number 3. And here comes... Oh, Gordo overtaken, but Boomer quickly coming back. And Squirkit on lap number 3. We have Boomer, Broth, Gordo, and Squirkit. It all comes down to this. This is lap 3. Could this be for the champion first place win of the day of Sim Race number 2? And we have Boomer coming back to take the 3rd ace and winning overall, followed by Broth in 2nd, Gordo in 3rd, and Squirkit in 4th. Give me a second to, we already know Boomer takes 1st overall. Let me just add up these points and make sure that we do not have a race off for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because all these points will matter. And it is official in stone. 4th overall for that round with 17 points. We have Squirkit. Squirkit, Squirkit, Squirkit. It's always a pleasure having you here. How was that? How was your nerves?
It was chaotic, and I think I was burnt out before the racing even started. So I'm surprised that I lasted that long.
Yeah, you were doing amazing. Anything to say to your fellow pilots or fans out there, the millions watching?
Nope.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your night. We will see you next week for Sim Race number 3, and then for the IRL race on Saturday, February 11th. All right. And this pilot is quiet, so we will wait until they respond, but Gordo taking 3rd overall. Gordo, how does your heart feel after we were, I believe, in the B main, or just going on to the B main?
Well, it has settled greatly since then. Thank goodness.
Good, I'm glad it didn't explode on us there. We
Me
always have a
too.
big heart to give, but we don't want it to go out in drone racing.
Sounds rather unpleasant, don't you think?
Yes, an implosion, explosion, kerplosion. Awesome. No, awesome racing. Super excited to have you back next week. Also on February 11th over at Washburn. Anything to say to your fellow fans out there or your fellow pilots?
They are undeserving of my graces.
No. All right. You have a wonderful night. Don't forget, pilots, stick around. I will release the course as soon as we are done. All right. And in 2nd overall, who took 1st overall last week, we have Broth. Broth. How are your nerves doing after that epic blade-to-blade battle between you and Boomer?
Not well. Hate to say it, but I think my fingers are a bit too big and it's kind of being squeezed in between, like, the switches, so I think I just cut off circulations to my pointer fingers. But other than that, for it being like a new environment, new computers, it's going well. It's better than I thought it would be, and also on campus Wi-Fi. So, gonna have
Yeah.
to say I did pretty good this week.
Yeah, oh yeah, you did. No, you really did. Yeah, getting set up out there and getting things going. It's always a pleasure having you as well here. Stick around for the release of the course because I'll hop out and make sure that it's uploaded, and then I'll be hopping in and showing all of you what the course is once we are done with the stream for next week. And coming back after a little bit of a vacation, coming back to the fun, friendly rivalry between Broth and Boomer, we have the ever fast pilot from Highland Park, Boomer. Boomer, welcome back. It was great having you back, and so much fun watching you fly. How was that for you tonight?
Yeah, it was great. Practice last night, something clicked to me that I've been flying ever since last night. I've been flying a completely different way. I've been seeing the track in a completely different manner. So I'm definitely excited and happy to see where the season goes with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and sometimes it is good to take a little bit of a breather too, and then come back, because it's just like things that didn't click will click now, for you too. So, yeah, you did awesome, like amazing, and congratulations on taking 1st overall. For tonight, do you have anything to say to your millions of fans out there who are viewing, or your fellow pilots as well?
Yeah, just my mom's out and probably watching this right now, and she's out in the middle of nowhere, and she has a flight on Sunday. So, fly safe, Mom.
Yes, fly safe. Come back or leaving?
It's coming back.
Coming back, yes. Be safe coming back, because I was going to say be safe both ways. But yes, definitely be safe coming back. No, but amazing flying. I am super excited to see you come back and throw down in the sim along with in real life. It's a pleasure, always a pleasure having you. All right. And that wraps things up for week number 2 for the Soaring Sim Series, race number 2, 2023. Next week, Thursday, same time, 6 p.m. Central, we will be having Sim Series or Soaring Spring Sim Series race number 3. And February 11th at 10:30 a.m. Central, we will be over at Washburn streaming the race as well. Once again, I am your host, Sour Power, with the YDSC, the Youth Drone Sports Championships. We are sponsored by NCAT, the National Center for Autonomous Technologies. We are also powered by LeagueOS. Always go to leagueos.gg, check them out. If you're looking to learn how to fly, start a team at your school, go to fly.youthdronesports.org and just send us an email or create a free account and come into our very monitored Discord. Also, huge shout out to our production booth, Shy Dragon with Dragon's Eye Media. And as always, doing a phenomenal job racing and race managing, we have Eclipse. Don't forget to hit that follow button and that notification button, so this way you can follow us for our future races this season and going forward. Everyone have a great week and a great weekend, and we will see you all back next week. Have a great night.